Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living. We're a community of people dedicated to using spiritual and practical principles to create lives we want to live. And Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living offers practical and spiritual tools to make positive changes in our lives. Our promise here is to reveal, inspire, uplift, celebrate, and magnify your greatness. We acknowledge our presence here on the traditional and unceded lands of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish and Coastal Salish peoples. These people are still here, and we join with them in how they continue to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. We seek to resist the erasure of Indigenous histories as we work towards honoring and inviting the truth. In a similar fashion, we acknowledge how much of what we know in this country today, including its culture, economic growth and development throughout history and across time, has been made possible by the labor of enslaved Africans and their ascendants who suffered the horrors of transatlantic trafficking, chattel slavery, and Jim Crow. We also name the Asian and Chicano people who toiled with little recognition. We are indebted to their labor and their sacrifice, and we must acknowledge the tremors of that violence throughout the generations and the resulting impacts that can still be felt and witnessed today. Please join me for our opening song, Woke Up This Morning. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit well high. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Well, I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. Well, all day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. All day long I keep my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Is that Fiestas?
That's Fiesta.
Yay, Fiesta. Thank you. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
And so let us prepare for this morning's meditation. By allowing ourselves to get comfortable in our seats. Having our feet firmly planted on the floor. Hands in our laps in an open and upright position. And if it serves you, allowing your eyes to close. And just allowing yourselves to go into a deep relaxation as you listen to my voice. You go deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. Just letting go. Just letting go. And so I'd like you to bring to mind a family member that you love and have a wonderful relationship with, and who loves you and has a wonderful relationship with you. And this could be a person that is present on the planet, or someone who's gone on. Just bring that person to mind. Be present with that person. And contemplate on what makes this relationship special. What makes this such a wonderful relationship? What is it that you experience? What is it that you do? What is it that they do that makes this relationship that wonderful, loving relationship? So bring that person to mind and allow yourself to experience them. And now feel the love that you have for this person and that this person has for you. Feel the love. Feel the power. Feel how awesome that love feels. Feel the love. Let it fill every cell of your body. Experience the love. And thank this person for being a part of your life, for allowing you to be a part of their life. Thank them and see yourself giving them a huge hug. And in that hug, just feeling all the love. And now bring to mind and think about and contemplate on what makes this relationship so special. And this could be a person that's present on the planet now, or someone who's gone on. But feel their presence. Feel the love. And contemplate on what makes this so special. Now thank them for their loving presence. Thank them for being in your life and for them allowing you to be in their lives. And now see yourself embrace them and feel the love. So let's give thanks for this wonderful time. For having experienced two wonderful people in this moment. And know that the love that we feel, the love that we experience, is always present for us to experience. And so as we come back into this room, coming back into this space, we come back with the love. And so it is. We got a lot of comfort going on. Everybody okay? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so this morning's reading comes from, again, from my phone. Yay. And it's from the Medium. And the title is How to Maintain a Healthy Relationship with Friends and Family. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce this person's name. No, we're not. Okay, here we go. Family and friendships are part of the things that define us as people. Without them, nothing would make sense. The major point of becoming successful is to elevate yourself and those closest to you. If we do not have people to celebrate our wins with, they would be far less meaningful. If there is no one to comfort us when we feel overwhelmed, life would be strenuous. Some other benefits of relationships are more confidence, it defeats loneliness, and 3, a happier and more content life. Relationships are a vital part of our lives as human beings. The importance of social interactions cannot be overstated. However, many struggle to find the balance between work life, family, education, etc. I, for one, have gone through the dilemma of balancing it all, such that my work and studies do not consume my social life entirely. It is difficult. Nonetheless, our relationships are crucial, and we must do whatever we can to ensure that we build healthy ones to make our lives more worth living. Here are a few tips. Number 1, be communicative. This may sound a bit like a cliche, but it is, in fact, surprising how many people do not communicate in their relationships. I know some people like that. Anyway, lack of communication has caused so many friendship and family ties to wane. A 1-minute conversation could potentially solve what would have led to decades of dispute. Be open to speaking out our differences or displeasures in your friends' actions, and you should also be able to own up to anything your friends claim you might have done to hurt them. Talk it out. It will go a long way in ensuring the relationship stands strong. Number 2, create time for get-togethers or visits. Try to visit your friends or family often. Relationships thrive with physical connection. You can arrange to meet them at a pub or joint every Friday evening. I don't know where this person is, wherever the pub is. Go hiking on Saturday mornings with them, or if you're not the outdoors type, you could visit them at home with their permission and watch a good movie or play games. I got to do that last night. These activities will help strengthen bonds, erase every iota or feeling of loneliness, and your mental health will be exponentially better. Number 3, a true friend is a trustworthy, dependable one. Your friends should be able to count on you to have their back, especially in trying times. As a good friend, you should be someone that they can turn to and expect you will do everything within your capability to help them out. It could be just a little as telling them everything is going to be fine. That alone is enough to brighten up someone's day. Be the friend that they can confide in and won't breach their trust no matter what. Help them financially if and when you can. Show up to their graduations or weddings when they need you to. If you can't, make sure you have a really valid reason. Family and friendships aren't about what you can get from people. It's about how much you can help each other and uplift each other. That said, they too should be people you can count on. And if you feel a relationship is parasitic or one-sided, do not hesitate to refrain. Such a relationship could do more harm than good. Number 4, have some me time and let them have theirs too. It is often easy to be overly clingy in relationships. Make sure you're not walking that path. Every person needs their personal time and space for goal setting, actualization, and personal discovery. Realize that ultimately we have to do the basic things alone. Don't disturb your friend's workflow and personal space. This point depends largely on individual variances. Some people have more free time on their hands than others, and some people are less committed to an ultimate goal. When you know the type of person you are, as well as the type of person your friend or family are, you can effectively tell when would or wouldn't be convenient for them. Number 5, set boundaries. Ooh, I know some people love those. Setting boundaries. It is always a good idea to set some boundaries in your life. It will ensure your friends and family know when you're okay with and what you're not. It's also expedient you respect theirs. No one likes a meddler. Although you are there to support and help your friend in any way you can, if there are some things that would rather not disclose or talk about, do not push it. Number 6, Keep your anger in check and forgive. You should always learn to forgive your friends or family shortcomings. After all, we're all human. Other people will inevitably step on your toes, whether you like it or not, sooner or later. It's your responsibility to react to the issue with wisdom and empathy. Forgiveness will help you see the world through a clear lens. If you're someone who consistently gets angry at the slightest violation and keeps the anger, you will have very few friends, and your family won't like to be around you. Okay, enough said. Number 7, say sorry when you're wrong. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Say sorry when you're wrong yourself. I don't know what that means. Okay, just say you're sorry. Okay. It says when you're wrong yourself is what it says, but I don't think that's what they meant. I think we're missing a comma. Maybe so. Interpret that however you choose. It's easy to get caught up in your own self-righteousness that we don't even know when we're wrong ourselves. Okay, so it's when you're wrong. Okay. I've experienced it more times than I can count. However, it's crucial we apologize for any misdeed against our friends or family. Remember, they are people who care about you the most, so they might not be telling you the full extent to which you have wronged them. Number 8, check up on them. Yeah, they're 9, just by the way. Social media has made it quite easy. It has made it quite easy to check up on the ones we love. Use the opportunity and technology to your disposal to keep in touch. Call your high school bud or WhatsApp, DM them on Instagram. There are so many ways in which you can keep tabs now and reach out no matter where you are in the world. The world truly is global village now. You never know when friends or relations, you never know that your friend or relation you reach out to might just be the connection you need for a brilliant job opportunity, or they might even be the president of your country tomorrow. Let's hope. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that wasn't in there. That was me. Okay, number 9. Oh, I actually told a story. There are 10, not 9. Okay, number 9. Show your friends that you appreciate them. Many times our friends or family may feel unloved or lonely, even in the midst of so many people. It happens more times than we'd like to admit. However, showing that you care for your loved ones will really go a long way in defeating such feelings. Buy a gift for them when you have the chance. Give them an unexpected call. And number 10, don't be judgmental. Ooh, I know no one needs to hear that one. If you have friends that are falling behind in life or are struggling financially, mentally, health-wise, you do not need to remind them of their issues. You do not need to remind them of their issues. Believe me, I trust they haven't forgotten so quickly, seeing as they would most likely still be facing such problems. What you should do is encourage and uplift them. Tell them there's sunshine at the end of the tunnel. Often all we need is a word of encouragement to get us going. In conclusion, comparison is never a good idea. Don't compare your relationships with others. Others may seem flawless and perfect. However, that is far from the case. No relationship is ever flawless. Misunderstandings are bound to happen, among other things. Nonetheless, it's how we handle these issues and move forward that really matter. If you are privileged to see your family or friends once a week or maybe even a month. As long as everyone is happy and content, it doesn't matter. I'm going to end it there, and so it is. There is more to the reading. I will send it to Reverend Michael, and he can send it out.
I was just. You do that? Yeah. Yes. You want to read it? Oh, okay. Sure. Okay, we have our declaration. So please join me 3 times saying this. We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. And so it is. Did you want to stop sharing?
God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is where I dance. Joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak truth is, where I work, love is my career, and where I
Good morning, Northern Lights, yet again, and welcome. Welcome to those of you in the room. Welcome to those of you on Zoom. It's good to see you all. I think everybody knows I'm Reverend Pamela. I don't know any unusual faces that don't know who I am. So, welcome. So, my talk this morning is about kith and kin. I'm going to share my PowerPoint slides and become a little corner up there. So, kith and kin, an old-fashioned word for friends and family. I always like that. And this is about relationship, which Stephanie has described so well and so beautifully in her talk, her reading. Friends and family and relationships. People easiest to love are those most like us. I even dreamed about that last night. I guess I put a lot of thought in it. It was like people were hiring people and they were so happy because they were just like us. These are our tribe because they think like we do and they feel like we do. And the heck with diversity and appreciation of different opinions and openness to other ways of seeing things. We want people who think just like we do, and then we're comfortable. Yes. So, in what Stephanie read, she listed a number of things. Thank you so much. She gave us some practical approaches, which I hope everybody will um, read when Reverend Michael or Reverend Vaughn sends them out. Practical approaches to getting along with folks is what it's all about. And you can look anywhere and see that the information says that, particularly as we get older, but I think it's also important for young folks, but as we get older, it's very important to have some form of community around us, to have connections with folks. And you can see what happens if one is alone too long. Um, the quality of life lessens. The reason for being is questioned. And at least if you have friends and family, you might say, "What's my purpose?" But when someone that you love walks in and you have that experience we had in the meditation, it makes it all worthwhile. Since I've grown older and retired, I have found, excuse me, that in all my doing, I'm finding that what's most important is how I am being, how I am showing up, how I am showing up for myself and others. It's not quite as important how many paintings I paint or how often I get to sing with fellow musicians. Although, and this is for Reverend Michael Squirrel, I'm gonna take a quick off the subject mention here. I realized with my standing band that I had before I moved to Whidbey Island, what I enjoyed most about working with them was rehearsing, not performing. Performing was a whole other animal. It had whole lots of moving parts. And it wasn't nearly as much fun as being with that group and doing what we love to do, making music and trying to figure out how the best sound could be created. That I would do once a week, every week, and love it. I stopped doing it because once I moved to Whidbey Island, the commute was too long, etc. But it became more about the community I had within the relationships I had with those musicians versus performing on stage. But performing on stage was the what brought us together, if that makes any sense. So, relationships and how we deal with them. Yeah. So, a little story, perhaps another squirrel. I was in a public speaking workshop of all things. Yes, I was there. And I was going to be one of their teachers. So we had to go through the whole thing. And then we had to look at our video of what we did. And it was the first time I'd seen my face up close on video. And I said to the coach, "Oh my God, I look like my grandmother, my father's mother." And I thought, "Oh, sugar, that's what I'm going to look like when I get old." Oh my God. I couldn't get past it. He finally told me, "Get over it," and gave me my feedback. But it was about relationship with that grandmother who had favored me when I was little. And then my father's sister had children, lots of children. And my grandmother decided that they needed her love and her consideration. And she just kind of kicked me and my sister to the curb. And she was also very blunt, uh, and not particularly warm and fuzzy. And so over the years, I became disconnected from that grandmother. I had a grandmother on my mother's side whom I adored, who was also not warm and fuzzy, but somehow or another she got the love across. So much so that I just knew I was her favorite, and all of my cousins did too. I don't know how she did that. But this grandmother made favorites clear. On the other hand, the people in our lives are here to teach us. Isn't that nice? I don't know if that's true that they're here to teach us, but I do know that it's true that we can learn from them. And so, being somewhat blunt myself, I recognize that being really blunt wasn't always the best thing. And also, this grandmother, who didn't even finish high school, worked for a long time, saved her money, bought very nice things, nice furniture, nice stereo, bought things for her favorite grandchildren, made beer in the basement. I loved it and sold it, raised rabbits and ate them. But she took care of herself despite her limited education and her country upbringing. She was a determined, successful woman in her own right. And that was something to admire, even though I was no longer one of her favorites. So I realized after some years that I had learned quite a bit from her. And that takes us to family. Family is always teaching us something. Some folks, some philosophies believe that we actually select our family and our friends. And one philosophy goes as far as to say we select our experience. We can select being on the fast track of spiritual development or taking it a little more slowly. Now, what does that mean? The fast track appears to mean that we have more challenges, serious, big old challenges. The slower track may mean we have fewer things to overcome and fight our way through. The fast track means or may mean that we suffer more for ourselves and for others. Again, these other philosophies, some say that we're here and what's happening to us is to teach others, and that we agreed to that. My minister in California used to talk about some of these philosophies, and she said somewhere, sometimes in some places, there's a belief that the murderer and the person they murder made an agreement before they ever came into life to play those roles for their own growth and the growth of those around them. Now, I know that's a bit of a stretch, but I think it's interesting, that perspective. So, going back to family, whether we chose them or not, we got them. They're ours. And they can be definitely some of our most active teachers. And when we're having a difficult time with family members, we can think about what it is. And I think some of that was in Stephanie's reading. What is it that's causing the difficulty? What line of thinking do we have that might be contributing to us not getting along with our family or appreciating our family? What shoulds are we putting all over our family? I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the shoulds my family put over me, and I was actively resisting every single should. I should go to church all the time. I should, let's see, I was supposed to grow up and be a teacher of children. They had lots of shoulds. And then we have the cultural shoulds, the societal shoulds. But we have interesting shoulds in the family. Oh, children should be seen and not heard. That was a big should in my immediate family. So at dinner table, we didn't chatter about how school went or what we were going to do the next day or where we wanted to go because children should be seen, not heard. And as a child, I always wondered why. Why can't I be seen and heard? I'm as important as everybody else. So family comes with its challenges and its opportunities. And not long ago, I read a book called Let Them. I think I may have mentioned it before. The essence of it was get your bloated nothingness out of the way of other people's experience. Let them have the experience they're having. That can be very difficult. It can be very difficult to step aside when you know somebody should do this, not that. Where I think it interesting is that sometimes we can't let them. For example, for a long time I was a CASA, a court-appointed special advocate for children in foster care. The courts, our society, could not just let what was happening to these children just happen. If it was detrimental to their lives and it came to the attention of children's services, they had to step in. There was no letting them. On the other hand, though, we were as CASAs encouraged to not put all of our perceptions of how the children and the families should live when there may be other ways. They may be from another country, and this is their culture and their process. Or they may be from another economic status or a different culture within the United States. I think the funniest one I did, because I was well aware that the white CASAs had issues with how Black people treated their children. They didn't understand certain cultural aspects. I never actually got a Black child. I always got white children. And one of my babies was number 5, and her mother was addicted to drugs. And so I was sent in to keep an eye on the baby and the other four children. And I was sitting in the living room one day when the baby's diaper needed changing, and they put the baby on the floor, no blanket, no towel, no diaper underneath it like my family would have done. They just put her on the floor and they changed her diaper. And they had a little dog that ran all around. And I'm thinking, they're putting my baby on that dirty old floor. They weren't the cleanest people. And then I looked at the other four. They all were healthy and rosy cheeked and doing okay physically. And I thought they probably put all those babies on the floor too, and they survived it. And Pamelagrace, this is not your baby. Back off. So that was a let them opportunity. Let them change the baby's diaper the way they changed babies' diapers. The other thing in family is that we all have opinions about how everybody ought to live. And especially our family, because those are people we love. And then there's our friends who may be living lives not quite how we think they should be living them, or how we even think what's best for them. And yet, they have the right to choose their own experience and their own path, whether we feel it's a good path or a right path, wrong path. During the meditation, I thought about my best friend. We've been friends since junior high, and we've been through a lot together. We live in different states. And I thought, what's kept us together as friends, we have learned to back off of telling each other how to live. We may offer our opinion about something if we think it'll be helpful and if we think it will be received. But we don't tell each other, girl, you shouldn't have done that. You should be doing this, 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 and this. We watch how we talk to each other because we are clear that our intention is a friendship for a long time. And at this point, until the end, we are BFFs forever. I don't have a lot of those friends. In fact, she's about the only one that qualifies in that way. I found personally, and I'm glad my sister's not on this one, that backing off made a big difference. I didn't even realize how often I was telling family members what they should and shouldn't do. But I did realize one day that doing that wasn't bringing them closer to me, which was something I wanted. And so it's hard to go hands off. But I have a little mantra that says, the same God that watches over me watches over them. And it allows me to let go. And I was just checking my notes, and even if what we're thinking is indeed right and true, even if we're right, so what? It can destroy a friendship to push that opinion when clearly that person is not there and didn't ask for our opinions. So not only let them have the experience they're having, but question why we want to get in there and fix that. Why we're recommending that particular fix. Like I did with my baby that they put on the floor, I did ask myself, why am I trying to change these people's behavior when it's worked for them? Or what right do I have? Because babies being changed on the floor is not the end of the world. And these people have enough issues without my writing up in my report to the judge and they change the baby's diaper on the dirty floor. What purpose would that serve? And here's something else. I really didn't know how dirty the floor was. Maybe not dirty enough to have any effect on the baby. So question our intention in shooting on folks. Because it's so easy to say, well, you should do this and you should do that and you should do this and that and the other. When it's their party and they get to decide how to run it. And my last point, oh, there's let them. Hi, let them. Let them be, let them fly. My next to the last point, reaction to response. I thought I heard in Stephanie's reading something about reacting, or it just may have been, I've been reading so much about all of this, but we have emotions. And we tend to believe that our emotions are valid. Our emotions or reactions are simply that, things that come up in us. They're not necessarily something to fall on the sword on, oh my God, I feel like this. And so, oh, I have to express it immediately and in its raw form. I don't know about you, but for me, that's probably not the best time when I'm in the height of emotion to express anything. But I've met many people, including one I'm married to, who absolutely cannot stand by and wait for me to calm down. I had a boss once who, if we had a difference of opinion, and if I got upset, she wanted to iron it out right and now. Just go in it, emotional fist to fist. My preference was to step back, examine what was going on for me, parse out my piece of responsibility in this difference we were having and hers, because in the emotional moment, it's all her. You know that one, right? So in reality, it's never all anybody. So my process is to step back and think and parse out. I don't even understand the people who want to jump all over you and just express themselves and dance on down the road without hearing the other side or working through the other side. So I have learned not to let my emotions drive my behavior. I'll step back and examine what would be the best response. The only control we have over people is ourselves, our self-control. And we can manage that. I feel like if we're being run by our emotions, it's like the tail wagging the dog. There's the dog and it has a tail that it wags. It isn't wagged by the tail. We don't have to let our emotions run us. Going back to that boss I mentioned, she in our meetings occasionally would get somewhere and want me to agree with her, and I wouldn't agree. I didn't think it was the best idea. I didn't think it was something we should do in the situation. And it would really annoy her, and she would grill down, drill down. My feeling was, hey, you're the boss. If that's the way you want to go, you can go that way. I have some concerns about it. However, you get to make the final decision. That wasn't good enough. She wanted me to agree with her that she was right, which I couldn't do unless I wanted to lie. So I learned a technique called, oh shoot, it just flew out of my mind, but it was visualization. I forgot the writer of it. There's a book that this technique is still going on online, where you visualize how you want something to go. Now, this is envisioning where you go in and then you see what comes to you. This is Silva Mind Control. That's where it came from. That was the book. Jose Silva wrote it, The Process. You visualize how you want the situation to go. This can be very useful in relationships where there's always been a reaction and there's a high potential that there'll be a reaction again that you won't like, either from your side or their side or both. So visualizing how you want the process to go, what your intention is as a result of the discussion with them, and staying with it. When I first tried this with my boss, she was surprised when I didn't rise to the bait. There was a way that she would communicate with me that she knew would push the button. And she was surprised when she pushed the button and I didn't react. So she pushed it again and she pushed it again. This is the first time. I started to get worn a little thin, but I still never went to my usual somewhat explosive reaction. Later on in other meetings, when she pushed the button and I didn't respond, and we usually move to, okay, Paula, that was her name. You know, you do what you want to do. I'll support it. I won't agree with it, but you get to make that call. She finally got used to that. And I found that that process worked in other situations. The only fault with it was when I didn't use it, when I didn't think about what I wanted as an outcome for this interaction, when I just wanted to go in and say what I needed to say and hope that the other person was going to go along with it or the other people were going to go along with it. Then it didn't work so well. But when I was clear that this is the outcome I want, and the outcome was not necessarily always that they agree with me to do what it is I want them to do. The outcome could be more subtle, like regardless of whether they agree with me, we walk out without having come to verbal fisticuffs, a verbal fight, anger and emotion coming up. We express, and maybe it's a yes or a no, but we walk away with our blood pressure at a nice place. Maybe even walk away still friends. So this process, Silva Mind Control's visualization, can be very helpful when you know you're going into a situation where it's going to be difficult. When you don't know and it becomes difficult, then we have to step back and recognize I'm losing it. I need time out. Whatever it is that can get you to calm down. And a little side note on this, I have found that when I use that one, there are people who actually enjoy getting emotionally engaged and they don't want you to come back. They don't want you rational. I'm sorry, but there are, I know that's not a very positive outlook, but I run into too many of them to pretend they don't exist. In those cases, I've told them my process is to walk away and think about it. In some cases, like one of my relatives who was put here to teach me self-control, I've just walked out of his house and talked to him later when I'm under control. And it really upsets him because he is used to fighting. Okay, I'm talking about my dad. He's used to fighting. He and my mom argued all the time. It's just well, who they were and how they rolled. I don't like that. So I leave, calm down, and then come back at him. The beauty of this is he's learned to respond the same way to me. So now we have our differences of opinion, but we can do it in a way that honors the other person and ourselves. So finally, if all else fails, or maybe you can start here, I have discovered that we communicate through the universe, through the ethers, I call it. We really do. Probably somewhere Ernest Holmes would back me up on this. I guess when he says we're all one. So when we're all one and we're talking, other ones can hear it. Any number of times I've just sent it out. You could even call it prayer, but I've just sent it out to the universe. Fix this. Back to the God that watches over me also watches over everybody else. And if I'm stuck and it's not working, I can back off and say, okay, universe, you come in and fix it. It's a wonderful thing. The first time I experienced it, I wasn't even in science of mind. I was in college and I had a morning job in my freshman year that was serving food in the guys' cafeteria just next door to my dorm. And I was up at 6. I was there at 6. I was up at 5. And at that time in my life, I hated mornings with a passion. So I went in there with a big old stinky attitude that was so bad, the guys kind of looked at me like, oh God, I've got to get something from her. Oh, shoot. Now, by the afternoon and the evening, dinner and lunch, I was much better, but morning, not my thing. And I felt sorry for the guys. I thought they're just here like I am to get their education and have a better life. I am not making their mornings all that good. So I said to the universe, fix me so I'm not such a negative person in the morning. Bada bee, bada boom, it was over. I was able to smile, say good morning. I didn't have to go through any changes, write out any plans, visualize anything. I just said, fix it. And it was fixed. And I have never hated mornings since then. And I've been up at the 2 in the morning and to work at 3 in some places and still able to be a little sleepy, but friendly and warm. So we can remember that we have that option. Talk to the universe. Just say, okay, I've run out of tools, fix it. And then believe that. So there you have it. Our friends and family are sent to us for a reason, and we are sent to them for a reason. And we may never know what those reasons are, but we can certainly ask, what am I to learn here? We can take responsibility for learning. What am I to practice here? How can I be of service here? So although I said we shouldn't should on anybody, we shouldn't. But we can share a thought or an observation and back off if it looks a little touchy, not get too attached to what we would like that person or that group to do. And remember, acceptance of them, just letting them, doesn't mean we give up. It means we recognize that we're allowing them to live their lives and have their own experience. Give them a chance to grow in the way that they are determined to grow. And finally, the only control we have over situations is ourselves. We can control how we react, what we say, what we think. We don't have to be run by our feelings. And finally, we can say, okay, universe, you're on. You're on deck. You fix it. I've run out of process and procedures. Guide me, guide them, and thank you. And so it is. So if we can have our closing song, and then I'd like our Stephanie to come up, our practitioner, and give a closing prayer.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the park. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the
So let's just take a deep breath in. And let it go. And just being in this place of knowing right where we are, God is, and all is divine and all is well. And that we are one with this power, we are one with this presence. And let us remember that in each and every moment. For God is all in all, and we are one with that present, meaning that every friend, every relationship, every family member is one. We are all one. And so in knowing this, in being this, in living from this place, we just allow people to be people. We allow people to have their experiences as we allow ourselves to have our experiences. We let go of the emotional pull of trying to should on people, of correcting people, of pulling people out of who they are and trying to make them what we feel they should be. We allow them to be. And we just allow ourselves to relax into the perfection of who we are, into the perfection of who they are. And just live in this bliss of loving relationships. We allow the universe to step in and to fix and to help and to lift and support wherever that is needed. And so we stay in a place of letting go, letting God, allowing all to be. And we just live in this place of bliss. And so I'm giving thanks for the letting go. I'm giving thanks for letting go of the control. I'm giving thanks for allowing people to be. I'm giving thanks for all the loving relationships and those relationships that might be a little challenging in our life. I'm giving thanks for all the learning, for all the teaching that comes from the relationships. I'm giving thanks for us being here and lifting each other up. I'm in a place of gratitude. I'm in a place of thanksgiving. As I release this word to the perfect action of the law, I let it go and I let it be. And I seal this by saying, Ashe. Amen.
Amen.
And so it is.
Oh, that's what I wanted. Oh. I don't know where that
She's
is.
not pinned, I don't know.
Maybe she pinned us out. Well, no, she's the only one on there, so that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry's on.
Oh, okay.
Then Reba.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we're both here. Pretty cool.
What?
I can't really hear what you're saying, but if you're asking for volunteers, I would go.
Okay, go. I didn't ask it, but go for it.
Oh, okay. Reverend Pamela, thank you so much. And Reverend Stephanie, yeah, just always very, very, very enlightening. Right on topic, as always. So thank you. And by the way, talking about your jazz group brought back a wonderful memory of that time that I did go to that one of your performances when the group was holding. Yeah, I forget what was it called, the American food. Yeah, yeah. And I totally enjoyed that. It's one of my fond memories. Thank you for that. Yeah, so what you were talking about, letting people, we have to let go of controlling, other people's growth. So it reminded me of the notion that even sometimes it's giving the opportunity to grow, and it might even be in the direction that we've been wanting. So, we might have had a conversation with a friend or relative about something